بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is Dr. Tariq Rashid. We are in the program of Spirit of Happiness. We'll join you together today in the City of Happiness with some of the roles that you have to play in the City of Happiness once you want to achieve your dream in life. Let me start with some of the vocabulary that we have to define as we are moving in this episode. Creative, innovative, excellent, genius, and talented. Let's start defining what are these terminology and how to try to use these all together in a good mixture to help you to live in the City of Happiness and achieve what you want to achieve. First, what is creativity? Who is the creative one? بديع السماوات والأرض. Creativity is defined as thinking out of the box, thinking in non-traditional method and way of thinking. And by this we mean you have to get out the pattern mind and try to use your creative mind. Now, the creativity is concerned with trying to achieve something in a different way. And always they said, in order to be creative, you have to try to achieve your goals with the highest level of quality possible, least time and least money. So if you can achieve some of the ideas, achieving the highest quality possible, least time and least effort and money, you are creative. What about innovative or innovation? Innovative means, or innovative people always try to start something from zero, from scratch. So always scientists, people that try to have something new to life, to human, to nature, is called innovative. Creativity means adding something new to something existed, while innovative starting from zero or scratch. Now, this is creative, innovative. What about excellency? Excellent means effort. You have to produce and achieve some effort in order to achieve what you are looking for. So excellency means presenting efforts, creativity, thinking in a different way, innovative, presenting something new. What about being genius? Genius has to do with the ability of the mind. Ability of the mind means ability to memorize, to understand, to analyze. So this is what we call the idea of being genius. What about talents? To remind you, we started our ID in the City of Happiness by defining your talent. And talent are always related to some sort of intelligence, not necessarily mental intelligence or analytical intelligence, which is always genius people work in the analytical intelligence. But you have lots of intelligences. You are born with two types of intelligences. Now, how to relate all these together? Start from your talent. Know the tools for creativity. Efforts and excellence is needed. By this, we can achieve new things in your life and in your city, in your life, that's it. By this, working on this 5 terminology together, we can start giving something and initiative in the City of Happiness. So you have to learn how to be creative, and the creativity is actually a skill. Use your talent with the creative tools, then you can advance in the City of Happiness. Now, let's go to the skills that you need in the City of Happiness. One of the most important skills you need in City of Happiness is decision making. Decision making. What about the decision? Actually, they said the decision has to proceed through 3 stages. Let's see what are the 3 stages in decision. The first is decision making. Decision making means how to know the correct decision. Usually we have several options in life. Which one to choose is what we call decision making. Usually in decision making we have 9 criteria to stop at and look and review before making a good decision. What are the 9 criteria that would help you clarify the decision that would help you go in life? First criteria is the cost of the option. If we have several options, and usually we have to have several options in life, because how many way would in life would you choose? There are several options. But which option to choose? We have 9 criteria. The first criteria is the cost of the option. Money is important, but also we have to choose the least cost option is highly recommended always to think of. So one criteria is money and cost. Second criteria and the option is the time. Always choose a option that has the least time. So time, money, quality. Choose the option with the highest quality that would achieve your goals with the highest quality, the highest way of implementation. Number 4, ease of implementation. Choose the option that is easy to implement. Number 5 is the impact. Think of the impact. Whenever you have a strategic impact, it's better than to have an option with less strategic impact. So impact. Another criteria, which is number 5 criteria, is risk. Whenever you have less risky option, it's better than to choose a risky one. Number 6, ease of implementation and availability of resources. So number 6 is availability of resources. Do we have resources? Choose the option that you have a control on resources. Number 7 is the expectations. Choose the one that is within your expectation, that satisfy the expectation of the what we call the stakeholders, the others, the nature, the globe, the society. Choose an option that would apply the expectation of those affected by the decision. What is number 8? So number 8 is a good important criteria is it within your values? Is it within the values that we apply in life? So the criteria to help you choose the way of action, which option to choose: life cycle cost, which is the strategic cost, then time of implementation, quality, risk, ease of implementation, availability of resources, expectation of the stakeholders affected, and the availability of resources. When you have to decide based on these criteria, decide which is the best option. So this is step number 1. This is step number 1 or stage number 1 in decision. After this, we decided and we are clarifying the decision. After decision making, we go to what we call decision taking. Decision making needs wisdom. Be wise in choosing the option. But decision taking needs courage. You have to be courageous. Don't waste time thinking too much in the decision. Be courageous and take the decision. Then decision making, decision taking. What is number 3? Decision implementation. So it's called usually DM, decision making, DT, decision taking, DI, decision implementation. In order to implement, you have to have resources and skills. So they summarize the concept as wisdom, courage, and skills you need to do this to decide, then we move in life. So this is a very important skill: decision making, taking, implementation of the decision. Now, we need another skill. What is another skill that will help us actually move in the way that we are deciding to move in? One of the most important skills is actually what we call problem-solving skills. Problem solving. How to deal with problems. Sometimes you take a way of action. Now you start your life, you start acting, but you may fail. you may face problems. And they always classify problems into three types. What are the three types of problems? We have problems that always have to do with what we call pattern problems, that problems that we are familiar with. And this type of pattern normal problems, we have to apply what we call the systematic approach for dealing with this type of problems. So systematic type of approach we need in natural, routine, habitual problems that we face. But there is another type of problem that we call creative problems. Creative problems need creative solutions. So sometimes we face new problems. In such a way, we have to think differently and we need creative techniques. And there is called problems for development. Although it seems not problem, but this is for the future. How to have some tools that will help you to think strategically. So, problem solving. Let's stick with the type number one, which is normal problems, habitual problems that we face. In such a case, we need a systematic approach. The systematic approach needs 6 steps to follow. Let's define the 6 steps that we have to follow in order to solve the problem in a way that will help us move forward. Step number 1 in the systematic approach in solving a problem, define the problem. Let me first summarize the steps, the 6 steps, then I will give you tools within each step. Define the problem. Then quantify the problem. You have to measure it. You have to relate with a number. And in management, we always say, if you cannot measure it, you will never manage it. If we cannot measure it, you will never manage it. So step number 2, quantify. Give some sort of measures to quantify your problem. Then analyze the problem. Then decide on solution. Then implement the solution. Then evaluate the solution. So in problem solving, which is really a highly needed skill, define the problem, quantify the problem, analyze the problem, decide on solution, implement the solution, evaluate the solution. How to define the problem? To define the problem, be very specific. Be very specific in defining the problem. So is the problem that you don't have time? Is the problem communication? Define the problem. After you define the problem, for example, one of the problems, lack of time, lack of resources, communication problem. People may not accept such problem. Define it. After you define the problem, we start quantifying it. Relate to some sort of measures. What measures do we need? For example, if your problem is communication, you define it in a certain measures. For example, 50% of my problem is due to lack of communication, or 50% of my problem is due to lack of resources. Relate your problem to a set of measures. We need to measure it. Then we start analyzing the problem. By analyzing the problem, we try to see the causes of the problem. How to start relating the causes of the problem and thinking of the causes. We use some tools. One of the tools we called fishbone. Fishbone, draw a fish starting with the head, then a tail. The head would have the following sentence. Why do I have this problem? So we are looking for the causes. So on the head of the fish, call why do we have this problem? Then on the tail, start the causes. Cause number 1 is because so and so. Cause number 2, so put all type of causes that affect this problem. So why do we have this problem? And on the tail, you will have several causes. So this is called fishbone technique of analyzing the problem. After that, we start now looking for which is one of the most important causes, because they said all causes are not of the same priority. There are some very important causes and there are minor causes. From the fishbone diagram, define what we call the most important cause. Usually we have to stick into one or two major causes. After this, we come to a step called 5 why technique. The 5 why technique will help you actually define the root cause. So ask why number 1, why number 2. Just to give you an example how we apply the concept 5 why technique. You know the well-known statue in America, which is the Statue of Liberty, having some sort of book and a lamp in there, is the Statue of Liberty. The Statue of Liberty is actually under the control of the archaeological department. They start finding that there is some sort of corrosion in the statue. So they've applied the first why. Why do we have corrosion? They found we have corrosion because we use acidic detergent to wash the body of the statue. Question why number 2. Why do we use acidic detergent? The answer was because there are some sort of insects and spiders coming on this statue. Why number 3. Why insects and spiders coming to the statue? They found the answer because we use lights. Lights attract the spiders and insects to come. Why number 5. Why we use so different lights and very huge lights? And the idea now, the solution comes, put off lights for 2 hours. You extend the life of the statue for 25 years. But if you stop on that pigeons are coming for the to take the spiders, then we would go for pigeons. The idea is, as much wise as you ask, 5 why technique will help you reach the root cause of your problem. So this is step number 3, analyze the problem. So after we define the problem, then we quantify the problem by having some sort of measures. Step number 3 is analyze. Then number 4, decide on solution. How to decide on the solution of any problem? Follow me in the following up episode. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.